No carbon tax for us, right, Carney? Right, Carney? You globalists, you elitists.
The country's in crisis, and these politicians believe that they don't have any accountability of the people.
What are you doing on the private property?
Why was Mr. Carney a defender of press freedom a year ago, and now he's the chief censor?
So please, you have to leave from here.
David Menzies for Rebel News at the Speranza Banquet Hall here in Brampton, Ontario. And folks, this is the venue for an event called An Evening with Mark Carney in Brampton. Now, when you have these fireside chats, that doesn't come cheap. It's $1,500 to hobnob with the man who would be Prime Minister. You do get a $500 discount if you're under 35. So there's that, I suppose. Now, folks, I find these fundraisers fascinating. For example, will Mark Carney make any time for the media? You might recall last month when he kicked off his campaign in Edmonton, well, the independent media was frog-marched out the door by armed police. And then several days later, in Toronto, in the Beaches area, well, he became an equal opportunity censor, namely independent media and the mainstream media. Well, they had to report from a frigid sidewalk. And it's all very curious to me, folks, because a year ago, my beloved boss, Ezra Levant, spotted Mr. Carney in Davos at the World Economic Forum, and he asked him about my false arrest and assault at the hands of RCMP officer Greg Dumichel. And this is what Mr. Carney had to say.
It was absolutely the wrong thing.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Look, freedom of the press. I've been a public figure in Canada, been a public figure in the UK. I know you got to answer tough questions, and you guys, you ask tough questions, and that's fair.
How does this defender of press freedom in the space of 12 months suddenly become the chief censor? I mean, it's remarkable. Now, I can tell you it's coming up for 5:30. The event was to begin at 5 o'clock. And we don't know if Mr. Carney is here or not, or much like Justin Trudeau, he is late for his own event. But certainly the parking lot is filling up. And I guess if you have $1,500 to squander on a Mark Carney fundraiser, you're not lacking in the funds department, are you? Lots of Audis, Porsches, Infinitis, Cadillacs, and a lot of Teslas too. Didn't these guys get the message on Team Liberal? Tesla is vehicle non grata these days for those on the progressive left, thanks to Elon Musk in Washington. And I just see over to the west of me, group of demonstrators. Maybe we can talk to them, because I really want to know what's in it for people donating $1,500 to an event hosted by Mr. Charisma. Well, we've seen him at other events, folks. Let's put it this way. Mark Carney is a fantastic substitute for Sominex. In any event, let's go and talk to the demonstrators.
Carney, tell us about Epstein Island, Carney. Why is there so many pictures of you with the Epsteins? Why? Why, Carney?
He's avoided the press. He's avoided any hard questions. He's avoided any really sit down. And reticent to CBC giving him, softball questions. We haven't heard anything from him.
I'm connected. I can deliver for the country. And my weakness is, people will charge me as being elitist or, a globalist, to use that term, which is, that's exactly, it happens to be exactly what we need.
Do you think that's what Canadians need, an elitist and a globalist?
No, absolutely not. I'm glad you asked that question, because he's a bit socially inept, and you got to remember, the only people that he's been dealing with for the past years are elites themselves.
And something that my government is going to do is to use all of the powers of the federal government, including the emergency powers of the federal government, to accelerate the major projects that we need.
The emergency powers? I mean, he's already playing that card?
He's already playing the Emergency Act card. And also keep in mind, if he is Prime Minister, he'd be Prime Minister without a seat in the House of Commons.
Which is allowable.
Which is allowable. That shows you just, We're basically a third world country at this point. We don't even have an active government, but he's already prepared to use the emergency. It's unreal.
You're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
He's the ultimate insider.
He's the ultimate insider. Of course, he was very heavily involved with the World Economic Forum. He's been a consultant to the Liberal Party now, I guess, going on 4 years that we don't know about. Plus, he was on Brookfield as well. His connections to all of Europe. He's got multiple citizenships. The man is nothing more than an insider.
You're not allowed to be here, sorry. Yeah, please. Yes.
Oh, us too?
Yes, please.
Oh, why is that, sir?
Don't bother private people down here.
Okay, well, this is a man vying to become prime minister, isn't he? Don't touch me.
No, I'm not touching you. Just go away.
Well, you just did touch
You're
me.
on private property.
Okay.
What are you doing on the private property?
Why was Mr. Carney a defender of press freedom a year ago, and now he's the chief censor?
So please, you have to leave from here. Please,
Okay.
you have to leave
He's
from
running
But-
to be prime minister,
I understand,
so
but
why
you
can't
have to
we
leave from
speak
here.
with them?
Who are you, sir?
I'm not going to give you any answer. It's okay.
Who are you, sir?
I'm the owner of this place.
Pardon me?
I'm the owner of this.
Oh, you're the owner?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are bothering us, you know.
Okay,
So, yeah,
so-
they are pressurizing us.
Is there any media availability for Mr. Carney?
No, nothing.
Okay, nothing. One question. Why was he a defender of press freedom last year, and now he's the chief censor?
We have no idea. We have no idea.
You don't have no idea.
We are the own this place. That's why.
I have 2 questions. Can you tell me what's for dinner?
I'm not
tonight?
leader. I'm not leader.
All right. Take care. Have a good day.
The country's in crisis.
Yeah.
The country's in crisis, and these politicians believe that they don't have any accountability of the people. They don't want to talk to the people. They don't want to talk to the press. They feel that they're somehow ingrained as leaders as opposed to elected officials, as royalty.
Any thoughts who's going to win the Liberal leadership race, Derek? A lot of people say it's a two-person race between Mr. Carney and Chrystia Freeland. The tagline for Aliens versus Predator comes to mind: whoever wins, we lose.
Yeah, whoever wins, we lose. It's odd that Chrystia Freeland came out saying that there was Chinese interference in her campaign, which is a bit unusual, but it appears that Carney is definitely going to be selected.
And of course, a fundraiser is all about the money. I understand Mark Carney's raised so far $1.9 million. No of the other contenders have raised more than $250,000, I believe. The number 2 fundraiser, another baffling thing, is Karina Gould.
Karina Gould. And she actually had no one show up at her event in Calgary the other day.
So, it must be all online donations.
Yeah, it must be all online donations. But that shows you what type of guy he is. I mean, I guess he's close to being a billionaire, and he still wants to raise money for his campaign.
Yeah.
Which is, it says a lot about the guy.
No more elitists. No more boomers, Carney. No more. We don't want you.
Well, folks, as darkness begins to take lease and the temperature gets even more frigid, this scenario, it really speaks volumes, doesn't it? Brampton's wealthy liberal elite, they're indoors, they're hobnobbing, they're having hors d'oeuvres and surely a nice steak dinner later. And meanwhile, concerned Canadians and members of the press, we're out here. We're outside literally looking in. Carney has no time to answer the concerns of Canadians. He has no time to sit down to have a media interview. So when you think about it, it's really more of the same, isn't it? I mean, is Mark Carney an agent of change? Is Mark Carney the ultimate outsider? Is Mark Carney anti-carbon tax? Is Mark Carney an advocate for freedom of speech? To which I would answer no, 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 and no. In fact, folks, the more we get to know Mark Carney, the more I think of that classic Who song, Won't Get Fooled Again, especially the lyric, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. For Rebel News, I'm David Menzies. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, but the fact is we need your help. Unlike the Justin Trudeau funded mainstream media trained SEALs, we don't receive a nickel's worth of funding from the Liberal government, nor would we accept it if offered. But like I said, we need your help. Please go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly chip in so we can continue to bring you the news you've grown accustomed to?